Hey everyone, welcome back. So let's understand the contents of ISTQB Generative AI Tester Certification. So overall, if we talk about the high level, I have already covered this. We have 5 modules in the syllabus, in the latest syllabus. First one is the Introduction to Generative AI for Software Testing. Then we have Prompt Engineering, Managing Risks of GenAI, LLM powered solutions for software testing, and then deploying and integrating GenAI in test organizations. There are a couple of chapters in here. So we'll cover or we'll have a lecture on each of these chapters. Now, as part of the syllabus, there are more subtopics for these chapters, but I'll go ahead and cover the high level chapter and try to cover as much as I can for the subtopics. Okay, but because of the time constraint, I won't be able to go ahead and deep dive into each and every minor topic that is part of the syllabus, but then it will give you, or the high level overview itself will give you a very good picture which you can use as a starting point and then go ahead with the self-study to prepare for the official exam. So let's go ahead with the GenAI foundations and key concepts. What exactly GenAI is and the key concepts. So let's understand the foundations and key concepts. What exactly is generative AI? Generative AI is the branch of artificial intelligence which helps you with the help of large language models to create human-like outputs, which could include the text, the images, the videos, the audios, your programming code, your test automation code, lots and lots of possibilities with generative AI. As the word itself says, right, generate or generative AI, it can generate the new content. Like as a human being, we are able to think and create the new content. For example, only human beings can think and write poems or paint a picture on the canvas. That's creativity, right? So I can go ahead and generate a poem, an essay in any specific language that I know of. I can create pictures. I can paint pictures. I can record the videos. So as a human being, whatever usually I do as part of the creativity, the generative AI is able to generate the new text, the essays, the poems, the summaries. It can answer the question. And it's not like the general search engine that we have been using till now. Search engine is about you have the database and it goes ahead and queries and sends you the response based on whatever it has found in the database. For example, if you have a library, it will go ahead and figure out that yes, this specific topic is present in this book, and it will search and send you the result like Google search engine. Generative AI is totally different from that. It can generate a new content, new text, new video, new image, and that's why it is known as generative AI. So that's the very basic of the generative AI. Now if we talk about what is large language model. So when we say generative AI, how generative AI, or what is the underlying tool or engine that helps us to create new content, the text, the images, etc. Now you would have by now for sure used Microsoft Copilot, even in the browser, right? So, or ChatGPT or Google Gemini, they are all available for free. And these all are the AI assistants that in turn are able to help you to generate the content. It could be text, images, code. So the underlying engine of the generative AI or AI assistants is large language model, LLMs. LLMs are the GenAI models, which are basically pre-trained on large textual data sets. How are these large language models able to generate new content? As we human beings have brain, right? The same way as we learn, we have brain and our brains have neurons. So we basically observe, we read the books, we go ahead and watch tutorials, and then we basically consume and learn some knowledge or learn the knowledge in our primary days, in our engineering days, in our higher education days, in our organizations when we are doing hands-on. So same way, these models, large language models, they have the neural network which is mimicking similar functionality as our brains work, the neurons as neurons work. So the large language models, using that same technique, they are trained on very large data set. For example, every data set or text that is present over the internet, the library, the books, everything. So they are basically trained on the data set, and once they are trained, they are able to generate the text, the images. So if, say for example, a model is trained only on the textual data, it will only be able to create the text data for you based on the learning, as we have learned, right? So if, say for example, I have to write what is software testing today, I'll write some answer based on my understanding. Tomorrow I have to write the same answer. It won't go ahead and match exactly what I have written today. So there'll be a little bit of difference here and there. Why? Because I know the core concept. Exact answer is possible when you are doing the search or the search engine, which can basically go ahead and pull the record and show it to you. So large language model work on similar level as our brains or as human beings. So they are basically trained on large textual data set, and these models then can understand the context in the user prompt. When we say user prompt, it is basically whenever you type in the prompt in ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot, and accordingly they can generate the relevant and coherent responses. If we take an example, if I say prompt to the LLM, write test cases for a login page, then LLM will go ahead and list the positive and negative test cases or security and performance test cases for the login page or login functionality. Now if I take an example of the large language model, let me go ahead and say for example, I get these AI assistants. Let me pull them here. Okay, so we have these AI assistants, for example, the Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, ChatGPT, very popular one, right? So all of these are the AI assistants, wherein what you do, you simply go ahead and ask something here, and it is not searching something. It is basically in the background, it has the model or the large language model, which helps you to generate the new content. Okay, same thing with the Google Gemini. Alright, and here if you see, this is basically what the large language model list is. So Flash Lite, Flash 3.1 Pro, Advanced Math and Code, and then we can adjust the thinking level of these large language models as well. Same thing here, if you go back here in the Microsoft Copilot, you will have this Smart, Think Deeper, Study. So in the background, there are different large language models. If I talk about how many large language models are available nowadays, every day there is a advancement in the large language model. There are specific models to generate the images, the videos, or there are specific models for coding or coding assistance, coding help, which are specifically trained to help with the coding tasks. They can create or generate the full automation framework or the automation script, or help developers to generate the front and back end code. So a lot of possibilities in terms of the large language model, but overall these are the AI assistants, wherein you have these prompts, which is basically the prompt that you type in. In the background, it chooses the large language model, and based on that large language model, whatever, say for example, I ask here, let's take an example. So write test case for login page. Okay, so if I say here in ChatGPT, okay, I say write test cases for login functionality of e-commerce app, and if I send this, you will see test cases for login functionality e-commerce app. It is generating those test cases, different scenarios, the test steps, expected result. How is it able to generate? In the background there is large language model, and that model is able to analyze what I have asked, and based on that I have asked write the test cases for the login functionality of e-commerce app. So whatever it has learned, whatever data it has learned for the test cases, how the test cases look like, accordingly it has provided me the outcome for those test cases. I can specify the exact type of outcome that I'm looking for, or the format of the outcome. Lot of possibilities in terms of the formatting and output and prompting we'll learn in the next module. But then this is the basic prompt that we have simply sent here. This is known as the prompt, and I have got some of the high level test cases here. Okay, now if we go further here, let's understand some of the key concepts in generative AI. The very important concepts are the understanding of tokenization, the context window, and multimodal models. So let's cover this in the next tutorial. Thank you. See you in the next one.